My name's Harry, and I live in a small, quiet part of the English countryside. I'm 18 now, but this story happened 3 years ago when I was 15. I have two best mates, Luca and Tommy, who I've known practically since we could walk. Tommy and I grew up in this tiny village where most residents are elderly, so naturally, all the kids our age stuck together. Luca lived on a farm just down the road and went to the same school. Growing up, we were all fascinated by ghosts and the supernatural. I've also always had a quiet belief in God, even if I didn't always show it. We stayed close after finishing school, often meeting up to just hang out and have a good time. One weekend, we decided to meet at Luca's farm. We rarely went there, but it seemed like the perfect spot to blast some music and relax without bothering anyone. Luca suggested we could crash in the woods near his house, where he had a little camping set up. Being typical teenagers looking for an adventure, we jumped at the idea. The evening started off great. We were having a laugh, sharing stories, and just enjoying ourselves. There was only one small tent, which could barely squeeze in 2 people, so I volunteered to sleep in the hammock strung up between 2 trees. Around 3 a.m., I was woken up by a strange, low humming sound coming from deep within the forest. It was an eerie, melodic sound. I immediately shook Luca and Tommy awake and whispered, "Do you guys hear that? D. It sounded like a woman humming a tune, but the only woman for miles was Luca's mom, and there was no way she'd be wandering in the woods at this hour. We were all pretty spooked. In a moment of teenage bravado, I stupidly offered to go and investigate. Tommy flat out refused, but Luca, though hesitant, agreed to come with me. We grabbed our phones for light and cautiously started walking towards the source of the humming. After about 5 minutes, we saw something that made our blood run cold. In the distance, we could make out the figure of a woman in a long, dirty white dress. Her hair was long and jet black, and she seemed to have a faint, otherworldly glow about her. She was incredibly tall, easily 7 feet. When she noticed our lights, she turned and began to slowly walk away, the humming never stopping. Against our better judgment, we followed her. She drifted through some thick bushes, and we pushed through after her until we came to a small wooden bridge. On the other side was a wide, open field, completely covered in beautiful red poppies. Poppies are a powerful symbol here, representing the soldiers lost in World War I. We scanned the field, but she was gone. The humming had ceased, and a strange, heavy silence fell over the area. We followed a small path through the poppies and found something that will haunt me forever. There was a single, old gravestone, and lying in the mud in front of it was a tattered white dress. We crept closer to read the inscription. "In loving memory of Diana, taken from this world, to you. May her soul rest in peace." 1917. We were paralyzed with fear for a moment. 10, we bolted. We ran all the way back to the campsite and woke Tommy, babbling about what we'd seen. He thought we were making it up. The next morning, still shaken, we told Luca's parents. As his dad listened, all the color drained from his face. He looked at us and said, "Many years ago, a woman was murdered by her husband on this farm. He was a soldier who came back from the war with terrible injuries. He went mad one day and killed his wife in a poppy field. They never found her body." Thanks for listening to my story. If you have any of your own, I'd love to read them in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more.